There is a comment I have about the Czech Republic that I love to tell people when they ask about where I live. I tell them that you can't spit in this country without hitting a castle in any direction. Let's just say that I was suffering from severe dehydration after my time in the central northern lands. And on a sunny day in January 2024, I hopped in my trusty rust bucket and drove to Liberecký Kraj to see Ralsko Castle. Making sure I took enough water this time. The first stop on the 2.5K hike up is Julina Vyhlídka, a stunning viewpoint over the village below that was carved out by Count Franz Hartig for his wife Juliana, complete with iron railing and a wooden pavilion, just because she loved the scenery from up here. I don't know about you, but buying flowers for your partner on Valentine's seems a bit underwhelming now, doesn't it? Well, in 1822, the Countess handed over the rocks to the public, which became one of the first tourist spots in the region. Enough of feeling belittled by deceased rich landowners. It's time to head up 698 meters above sea level to the peak of Ralsko Mountain to see us a castle.
I wouldn't exactly call this easy. Whew. It's steep. Okay.
After the initial climb and burning lungs, the path turns rocky, and you need to watch your step a bit. So make sure you stop walking as the expansive views start appearing before you. An interesting side note is that this mountain and its surroundings were only somewhat recently reopened to the public as a nature reserve. Starting in 1946, the locals were relocated so the powers that be at the time could set up a military training area and munitions testing site. By 1988, there were 20,000 Soviet inhabitants living in the vicinity. But after the collapse of the Soviet Union, the weapons were hauled away and the site closed off. For those of you that like to see things that once went boom, many of the discarded Czech and Soviet munitions were collected and are now on display in a little museum in Kurzívody nearby. The early history of the castle is about as lacking as my hair these days, but the first wooden structure was probably built here in as early as the 13th century. Today, the oldest preserved parts are the two residential towers, possibly built sometime in the 14th century. I think one of my favorite supposed stories of the castle is that in 1468, it was conquered by soldiers of the Bohemian Lusatian League, who snuck into the castle with the cattle returning from the pasture. Got a bit of a vibe from the comedy film Top Secret, if you ask me. One of my favorites. It is rumored that the ruins are to undergo a bit of upkeep, with a possible viewing platform to be erected. But with or without, if you are a fan of basalt isolated cone mountains overlooking the Ralsko uplands, which were created during violent volcanic activity during the informally named geologic tertiary period, I'd still put this as a must on the list of places to see. I do have to say, my vertigo is messing with me here, but wow. I mean, what a view.
I definitely didn't get to see everything while I was here, but I've got a feeling I'll be back. Who are you?